Ah. Oh, there he is. Hello, everyone. My name is BottleTopHornet, and welcome back to my... Come here. Welcome back to Minecraft. Get in the boat. Yes. Welcome back to Minecraft. We got another one. Oh, dear. Again, hello everyone, welcome back to Minecraft. My name is BottleTopHornet, and we're starting off over here, getting ready to build some warehouses to go alongside our dock here, so that we can sort of blend the two together and make this a slightly larger, more put-together area. So I was just coming out here to clear out some of these trees to make a bit of room, and I saw him. I saw our boy, and I needed to get him. I thought he was gone. Anyway, I'm clearing out these few trees because I want to use this area here to build up our little warehouse section where we can house some of our villagers. So we can trade some of the fish that we get from our guardian farm, and it'll also make this dock area look a little bit more complete. Don't worry, there's going to be plenty of details added to this flat area here. But with that being said, I'm just going to clear out these trees, and then we might get some stone or something and try and maybe mark out a bit of a design or at least a floor plan so that I have an idea of what I'm working with and how it's going to tie in with the rest of this. And then what I'm going to do is probably fairly quickly pop into a time lapse so that we can get it built up, and for the end of the video we'll make sure we get everyone across here and set them up, and I'll maybe show you how I transport villagers and how it all works with my my villager breeder over there and the zombifier, because we'll probably zombify them and cure them so that we get really cheap trades and get a bunch of emeralds out of them. So I'm going to quickly chop down these trees, and then we'll grab some stone and see what we can come up with as far as a floor plan. Alright, so I think I need to get up in the air and have a look at this. I need to like make a little platform up high that I can sort of stand at and look down on. What have I got? Let's try this. Okay, so looking at it, we don't actually have that much room. Like, it looks a little bit cramped. It sort of looks like what I might need to do is actually, where my cursor's going right now, is fill in that bit over top of our little cave that's down there. So expand that so that I can sort of, just cutting off where those cows are, put a line sort of that way, I think. Might have to remove those trees as well. And what I want to do is sort of create like two separate little warehouses. This one over here maybe being slightly bigger to house the actual villagers and whatnot on that side, and then having a gateway sort of going through the middle that leads up a path to further builds up this way, you know, for the future. Yeah, I think that's sort of what I want to do, and that'll help sort of bring a little bit more structure to near where this is going to come down and meet the land, and then we can sort of blend the two together and create this whole dock area like that. So if I pop down, try not to die. I felt like I was falling without the elytra just then. So yeah, this section here, rather than having it just sort of like that, almost bring it, there's little holes everywhere, but sort of bring it across and cover up this section. Give us a bit of ground to work with. I might start off with some stone and just sort of bring this across like so. And for now, I'll probably just make it flat so that when you're underneath, it's just going to look like a completely flat shelf. But we can flatten that out and sort of detail that up at a later date when we come back here to sort of tie this area in, make this a more realistic or a more actually built up area. Look at how these Endermen are just terrors, I swear. So I'll quickly fix that up, and then using some stone, we might build out the base like I was talking about, and then just, yeah, try and work out an area where I'm going to build, which will give me a better idea of, rather than just winging it, it'll actually give me an idea of where it fits on the island itself, so that when I pop into the time lapse and decide to start building it, I have a little bit of something to work to. So I'll fill that in, and then we'll see what we can come up with. All right. So just like that, we've gained a little bit of extra room, and now I can come back up here and see a little bit more of the land that I have to work with. So I'm going to pop down, I'm going to try and do these ones in a slightly different style. I'm going to try and not just stick with a rectangle. I'm going to try and do them on a bit of an angle so that it's a little bit more of an interesting build, and try and push myself, you know, here we are up top, try and push myself to just make something a little bit more out of my comfort zone. And it'll also help me try and come a little bit more towards that interesting build style that I'm striving for. So let's pop down and see if we can build up a bit of a boundary out of the stone. So the first thing I'm going to do is kill this skeleton. And this one. Oh no. Need to light that up down there, apparently. And in there. Distractions. Alright, we'll deal with that later. So, how do I want to do this? I think I'm going to start about... I want to come a little bit off that edge and go like this. Let's try and stagger it by 2 for now. That's not bad. And then coming back this way, let's go like this. That's about as big as I want this section to be. Okay. So say we have a little path coming down or up this way towards there, going past this smaller section with an archway going in between. So our main walkway is up around through here, this sort of from this ledge, I would say about there. And now if we continue this sort of diagonal line, I might continue to build it so that we can see where it goes. Okay, and then say start this one here, and we'll remove this. So that's sort of the distance that we have between the two, which isn't too bad. It's going to be fun to try and blend an archway if I connect them properly. And now this one, we might make a little bit more of a, 4 rather than 2. So it's not as drastic of a angle as the other one is. And then we might come back down this way like 3. 1, 2, 3. Cut that corner. Listen to me just try to work it out as I go along. But I'm trying to kind of give you guys the idea of what's happening. Now, to match up with this side, since that's 2, if I want the walkway through here to be fairly even, this building here is going to be a bit of an interesting one because it's not following the exact guidelines. So we'll go 2, 2, 2, 2, maybe 2, like that. That sort of meets up fairly evenly across there. If we were like, actually, let's do the exact same thing that we did on the other side. Okay, so probably finish with a 3. That's all right. And now all I want to do is probably try and go the 4 again. So let's 2, 3, 4. 4. 4. And let's go like that. There we go. That sort of meets up on that side, creates a little bit of a different look than what we have before. And if I just bring this up now to a similar height the whole way around, just so I get a better idea of what it looks like. I'm a bit annoyed that I actually just removed that thing because I would like to go back up there and actually look down from the same height. But we can fly around and see what it looks like from the sky, because a lot of these builds, the deciding factor on whether they look good is what it looks like when we're flying into the island, since a lot of our travel around the island is in the air. So if I just do the same thing with this one over here, I'm out of stone. Okay. So let's fly up in the air and see what this looks like. Cross your fingers. Okay. Maybe a little bit small. Actually, no, it's not too bad. I might... Yeah, okay. So this one here. How did that just happen? I swear Hello? Okay. There goes 57 levels for apparently no reason. I don't know whether that was lag or whether I just didn't slow down enough. I swear I'd slowed down in my flight. Huh. Well, let's pick up all our stuff. Okay. Let me just reorganize this. How does it go again? As I was saying, I think that I might chop down this tree, and with this one, we might actually make it more of a, rather than like this, I might continue this back like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we'll use our fancy hoe just to get rid of all of this. Collect a few extra leaves because I'll probably want to try and detail some stuff with this as well. Okay, I am a professional. I have no idea what I'm doing. Now let's fly up and see whether that looks a little bit more substantial. Yeah, I like that much better. So that way you have more than likely being that on this side we have an entryway, rather than over the other side, because you wouldn't want an entryway necessarily through underneath the archway. And on this side, I want to make it more like a path coming up this direction rather than having an entry there. So you would come through here, maybe have some farming goods stored in this warehouse, and then this warehouse here will most likely have a doorway or an entryway coming up here with a set of stairs, and that'll house our villages that we have the trades for the salmon that we get. Yeah, okay. I think I like that. I think that looks pretty cool. It sort of does set out that area a bit and fill it out a little bit nicer. Yeah. And then we can try and blend it all together. Now I just have to work out whether I'm sort of following this build style or trying something a little bit different. That's just going to be one of those things that sort of happens as I go, just to decide whether or not I want one or the other. But I like the idea of this sort of blending into that area. So part of our dock is connected via a nice staircase up into this build. I like that it's this height. So with a staircase, we can still have some nice walls with maybe some bushes or something nearby that gives it a little bit of detail. And we have already, you can just see with the way that the grass is, once that goes up through, especially if we sort of do it as a slab size steps up through the center there, it's really going to give a nice sort of eyeway through with a nice large build from down this angle. It's going to look quite decent. It's going to fill that section of the skyline in and really separate this dock area from the rest of the island up top. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go sleep for the night, gather some materials, set up a little shulker box station out here, and we're going to pop into a time lapse and see what I can come up with as far as a build. It's probably going to be a decent time lapse because with how much detail I want to probably add to this and blend it back down into this dock as well. I might even end up, depending on what sort of time it takes, I might even end up doing some more detailing work on this as well as part of the time lapse, just to try and blend all of this section together a little bit more before we get to building ourselves some ships. So I hope you enjoy the time lapse, and I'll be back with you shortly. And welcome back. I kind of like this. I kind of really like it. There's still so many things that I need to improve. Like when you look at that, it's not very nice as far as following a design. I need to play with it a little bit more to see what kind of shapes that I can get. But as far as a whole, I actually really like this design. I think it's a little bit different. It's a bit of a change from the rest of things, but it's still holding to our sort of dark oak and even just the cliff faces around here, sort of giving off that vibe. Now, I haven't done any of the interiors, and I sort of left it where I was. I didn't want to go too far and try and detail this. It was taking up a bit much time. And I sort of wanted to make sure that I got the villages in there for the episode. And this might be something that slowly gets added to over time as I sort of decide what to use that section for in there. And I would like to go across this with a few leaves. Need to patch up a little spot in there. But yes, see whether or not I can maybe get some leaves and stuff to blend it into the surrounding landscape, a bit like we did with that build over there. And I like that we have this path coming up here now, sort of ties that into the whole section a little bit. From here you can see as you're coming in, there's sort of, this is the first building that you would see, and come down this way. And what I would like to do is a bit like, where is it? I need to make a, oh, I don't have any room. I can put this away. I need to make a, like a banner pattern that I can copy this over and over, because I'm starting to feel like I'd like this general symbol to be the symbol for the Isle of Ender. So like the trade symbol, and also symbolizing sort of the shape of the mountains that I want to build up around this outside. So if you look at this, you imagine that that center circle is these islands. I sort of have the idea of doing a larger build on the outside where the mountains sort of follow a little bit further away from that center island, but that general shape of two sweeping sections that sort of spiral in towards each other. And yeah, I mean, that's the general idea behind it anyway. But I think that getting the banner pattern design and maybe hanging a banner there, and being able to put the banners on the Isle of Ender in different places, specifically, of course, the main port of call, where travelers and whatnot would come, supply ships would come, and they would see that the banners are hung up for the Isle of Ender. And I mean, I do have to do a little bit more. I need to practice with doing diagonal builds because they're a bit difficult to do. They take some brain power for me, but I like that this sort of sits there. I think I can probably fiddle with the way that that's set up over time. I've left the back pretty much untouched. I didn't really bother trying to get much detail in there because that'll be more likely to be tackled when we come further up this direction to do more builds. But I did open this. It is all half slabs, so there shouldn't be many, or if any, spawns inside of these buildings. And I like how this sort of does come down this direction. It'll be nice when there's a pathway being led up to different areas. I sort of want to make a farm area, and we talked about in another episode, probably the last episode, about the potential for making a larger island out this way to house most of our animals, which I have found many of them underneath underneath these sections. One of them is in that boat now. But we should be able to free them all and bring them over in that direction. I wonder whether I can fill this in with what I've got. That's a negative. But we've started the process at least. There we go. So enough distractions. Let's walk through our little hallway here, which I think looks half all right. Yeah, the more I look at that, the more I realize it needs work, but it's not too bad. And if we just pop over this direction, I do like this sort of, the look that you get as you come out from the base. As you're coming towards the dock area, you do see that sort of through the sight lines, just that little bit, the first thing you sort of see, because this covers the warehouse. So the first thing you see will be the beacon and possibly the large airship hovering up here. So that'll be a really nice little piece of information, like visual information. And we'll probably see the mast of another ship just there. So straight away, we'll get the idea that's the docks. We'll come out, we'll see the tower as we walk up towards the bridge. And then as we come over the bridge, you start to get an idea of the larger layout of this area. And we see, okay, all we have to do is turn right here and we go straight up to our trading section to have a haul of a few villages. I might grab about 8, maybe, bring them over here and get that fish trade so that it's nice and simple to trade with them and get that. And then we can add our details in here, of course, to make it feel a little bit more alive and more lived in, like a proper dock. So with that being said, I think what we're going to do is set up a rail probably through the entire center of our base and up here so that we have a spot that we can just, once we've cured our villagers and zombified and cured them so that they've got cheaper trades, we can lead them up into this area and then I can sort them out and see if I can get them into some little bays that will have spots for them to sit so that they can trade away whenever we need some stuff. We can come in here and sort that out. So I'm going to set that up because there's no point in me showing you the setup of the rail. It's just make sure it's done. And then once we've got that done, we'll pop in and I might just, I don't know whether I really showed you in the past, but it's worth going over again, my little zombifying station to show you guys how I do it and how I sort of made it, I suppose. So I'll get that rail set up and then we'll pop into that. All right, so we've got a rail set up, ready to go, and we can start to move the villagers into here once we've zombified them and cured them. And so we're just going to head down that direction and grab a couple. Ooh, oh, actually, while I was building that and coming back inside here, I got another one. I got another one. And I got another one down in here, and I have him over there, and that guy there. Oh dear. It's gonna start becoming a problem soon. But regardless of all that, let's head down here and start to zombify. Now, I think I did go over it in my video. As you can see, I've got way too many villagers up in there, so I need to get rid of some. So this is good. It's a good start. And I think an episode soon, I would like to redo the iron farm with a couple more layers so that we can actually get some decent iron supplies from it as well. But for starters, all we have to do is press the button, brings out ourselves a little villager. He comes down here. If we get out of the eyesight of the zombie, he'll hit him, instantly kills him. Perfect. They must have taken some damage. I'll have to be careful. I got to read my own rules. Up, down to release. Piston hold in the way. Okay. There we go. Turn that off and put the piston back. Now we have one. I'll just get two more and then we can cure them and send them on the way. So I'll just fast forward through that and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so with that done, all we have to do is grab a potion of weakness and some golden apples. We can throw that at the center. And now we have 3 villagers. So I'll only have to do that 2 more times. So I'll do, another bunch of 3 and then probably 2 more. I don't think I'll really want 9. 8 will do me. So what I might do is, I don't want to send them out into the sunlight, so I'll make sure that they convert into villagers first. That way they're all ready to go. They're not going to burn. And while they're doing that, I might grab the barrels that are required for them to get their fisherman trade. And I'll start to ferry them across. And I just realized before anything else, I should really grab a minecart for myself and check that this actually makes it all the way without stuffing up. So let's get ourselves a little push. And as soon as we hit this, I'm going to let go of the controls and see that it makes its way up. Okay, that's a good start. Perfect. Cool. All right, that's good to know. And I think when I'm up here, I might create almost like a bar across this whole back. So following almost that diagonal line, have a bar that has the barrels in it, and then just put a little bit of a topping over the top so that they can't actually jump out. And then it's got a little bit of room for them to be a bit free, like free range. Nothing should spawn back here on the half slabs, and that way I don't feel as bad about having them, completely locked up. It's more like they're in here working behind the bar, processing fish, and it'll fill up a little bit of this interior space by cutting across diagonally, probably from there. Hopefully I can make it look half decent. All right, so let's go see whether or not those zombies have cured, and then if they have, we'll send them on their way. Not quite yet, so just a moment and we'll be good to go. I can probably get the process started for another one of these guys. And another thing, there's even been... Oh, there we go. Hopefully they don't punch each other. Come on. There's even been doubles up, like people doubling up in these boats back here, just wandering around, obviously. So it's absolutely ridiculous how many Endermen we're getting. So come on, you get yourself converted and you get zombified. Oh, wow. He just got like full gold armor put onto him. Do I want to keep him? Maybe. There we go. There's the second one. I think I might want to keep him to put him in the repository, because he's a different type of zombie. So because obviously he's a zombie villager, but he's got almost full enchanted golden armor. Okay, cool. I'll keep you. I won't convert you back. All right, so these ones are done. I'm going to send them on their way like so, and let's head out the other direction and see if we can push them around in their carts. I think what I'll do is get them all in there, still in their carts. Oh, it's nighttime. I better actually go and sleep so that we don't get any zombies or anything get down, killing them. But as I was saying, I think that I'll leave them in the carts and just sort of push them around with my body. Oh, no! Go back. Ah. Ouch. Ooh, I better be careful. I don't know whether they pushed each other back, but I got 2 in. Yeah, it looks like the last one came up there and got stuck. But if I just sort of leave them in their carts until, like, tucked away into the corner here, until I've built the whole section that they're going to stay in, and then I can pop through because I can go through 1.5 blocks, step through and put on, if I press F3 and B, it brings up the hitboxes so I can make sure I don't hit them, and we'll get them sorted. So I'll send that guy back up this direction. I'll try and get all 8 of them in position and see if we can also get that fancy boy out of the cart and stacked away, ready to put into the repository as well. This guy here. Yeah, look at that. I can't believe that just appeared like that. So we'll send this guy back and I'll pop back in and see you guys once I've got them all in their position. Okay, so I've cleared out the rails, tidied that all up, and I've got my 8 villagers over here. All I have to do is just push these couple into the corner, out of the way, like so. And now I'm going to, I think it's getting dark. Yeah, it is. I'm going to go quickly sleep, and then we're going to set ourselves up with a bit of a trading station inside of here. Okay, so I've got my 8 barrels, which is enough for these guys to use as their trading stations. I think I'm just going to, of course that's going to be like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to set it up that way anyway. So let's just do this. See whether it fits. I need one more. Okay. So with that, I'll set up these slabs underneath there, and probably a run of them in front of the barrels as well, so that when I come in, I can jump up and get over top. So now we might just use nothing too fancy. It doesn't have to be anything super incredible as far as a build goes in here. Like so. I just want it to be functional more than anything. And then all we have to do is probably like this, bring in a little awning of sorts over top. So that means the gap in between here is less than 2 blocks. So these guys won't be able to jump through there, but I can if I crouch at the same time, like so. See? The only thing that I might want to do is, baby zombies might be a bit of a problem, but we'll leave it for now and we'll see how it goes, I think, over time. So I'm just going to set up a little bit of a roof over top of this. Again, nothing too fancy. I might come in at a later date. Oh, it's hard to get back up over top of here, so I'll probably want to set this up as well. If I can get these guys out of the way. I'll have to get them out of their carts before I do too much in here. So we'll just bring this roof line along, fill it in a little bit, and if I'm feeling like it one day, I might come in here and just do a little bit more detailing. But again, like I said, nothing too fancy. The main point of this area is just for function, to have a trading spot to trade our fish. So I might get a couple of fences, I think, just to make it look a little bit better. I can't just leave it like that. Do I have some in here? Don't, but I can make some. That's no worries. Put a couple of fences in, like so. Looks a little bit funny because of the way that it's all set up, but we'll just do this. Adds a little bit to it, and then we might probably just for now torch up the place. It doesn't have to be too drastic because of how we have this this floor as half slabs, but just a little bit of light so that it looks all right as we sort of walk past in the night time. And yeah, I might just do this for now, just because those are now spawnable spots, and I don't want them to get some zombies spawning in here. So now, like I said before, all we do is hit F3 and B, and that brings up this hitbox debug, and I should be able to see that is the hitbox of the main villager. If I hit beside it, there we go. He's out. He's out. We'll just go through and get them all out of their carts, like so. And they should automatically get themselves a job by, there we go, you can see. If I turn off the hitboxes, almost, there we go, every single one of them. And they trade raw cod and an emerald. I'm going to have to see whether or not I can, I don't know what kind of trades they have actually. Let me have a bit of a look. I might want to cycle a couple of their trades to get some good ones. But they do trade string. That's interesting. Yeah, we got a lot of string from our mob farm. Now, let's see if we can move them a little bit. There we go. Get them to jump around. Just build up a little bit of a thing on the back here so that I can get out when I pop over here like this to see them. Not too worried about these carts. I've got so many tucked away in that villager breeder. So I might quickly do a bit of cycling, find the ones that do have good trades that I want to keep, Like one of these guys, that guy had 8 string for an emerald, which is pretty good. I'll do some trades, cycle the trades of the other guys so that they get better ones. And geez, I actually didn't check this beforehand, but I had heard in the past that they will eventually trade raw cod for emeralds. So we'll hope that's the case. If not, they're there for decorative purposes, and I can sell that string to them, so it's not a complete loss. So I'm going to cycle through that, see what I can get set up, try and get them built up to maybe master level, just to see what sort of trades fishermen have, since I've never used them before, and then we'll pop back in and see how they're looking. I just thought I'd bring you in to show you some llamas fighting a pufferfish. They're doing their best. And after a little bit of time, I went and got the fish as well. I've used up a bit of it. I've traded with them all and got them to master level. I decided not to actually cycle their trades because since I'd never traded with fishermen before, I did want to see what they got, but cycled through. Some of them have half decent fishing rods. Don't know, that one's not too bad. There's a couple that I could potentially combine, but mostly it's the string, and some of them trade raw cod. So even after spending a bit to get them up to this point, I ended up with 9 full stacks of emeralds, which is, now that I think about it, 1 entire stack of emerald blocks. So not bad. That's just more emeralds to have stored away, and more things that we can trade and get rid of from some of our farms. I mean, the string's pretty good because you can use it for wool and whatnot, but for how much wool we're using at the moment, I'd rather just be getting emeralds, and that's going to continue to build up anyway. So that's not bad. Can pick up these shulker boxes. And yeah, we have ourselves a little trading area, a little warehouse on the dock. So not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. I really need to do something about that though. It's just not quite right. But I think I might have to look at it for a little while and just come up with something a little bit different. But all in all, I'm pretty happy. It's a little bit more detail, a little bit more of a build around this dock area. There's still a lot more to do, but we'll get there. It takes a bit of time to sort of come up with these ideas and work out exactly what I want to put where. And I know that these builds for the 2 boats are going to be quite significant. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of looking around and maybe gather some inspiration of my own by looking at what other people have done. I don't think there's anything wrong with that for certain builds. Like this one I completely made up by myself. It was pretty much improvised other than the original planning of the shape of it that we did at the start of this episode. So I don't mind the idea of, for some things, getting inspiration from somebody else. I think that's a smart way to work, and it also helps you improve your own build style by being able to see how things are put together or how other people have put things together. We've done a decent bit of work. There's obviously a lot more to be done on this dock area, but I'd like to split it up and do some other things in between rather than focusing entirely on it. I like the idea of popping around to different areas of the world and doing things as I feel like it rather than fully focusing and spending like 5 episodes on one area. I like to keep it fresh for myself. So we might do something a little bit different for the next episode or 2 and then come back and do these boats and also detail this dock area. So with that being said, I would like to thank my Patreon supporters, especially Tom, my level 3 supporter, and I've also had a request from a new Patreon supporter. It's not exactly something that I'll do every time, but he was so polite and he was so nice. He asked if I'd be able to give his girlfriend a shout out on TikTok. So I'm going to leave her TikTok name in the description if you want to go check her out. He'd be really grateful for that, and I'm really grateful for his support. So thanks very much, Joseph. I do appreciate your support once again. And to all the viewers, everybody who's been watching, I really do appreciate it. You guys... This is just, it's so great. I'm having so much fun making this series and just coming in and trying new things like this. This is a build style and a build idea that I've just never tackled before. And I always tend to shy away from those diagonal sort of builds. So trying something a little bit different, even if it does need some work, is really satisfying to me. So I appreciate you all coming along for the ride. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, and I'll be down in the comments, of course, chatting away with you guys, seeing what you think and talking through what happened in the episode. If you haven't subscribed already and you've been enjoying the series, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed as well. I just got monetized, actually. I hit my view hours, and I got approved for monetization. So if you guys are seeing ads on the video, I hope they're not too obnoxious. I don't exactly know what they look like from my end. So please let me know if they're like in your face. I made sure to remove the ones that go in the middle of the video because I do not want there to be a pause in the middle that takes you out of it, especially if the people who are enjoying this as a really nice, calm sort of video to watch, something that relaxes them. I really didn't want it to have ads in the middle of the video. It doesn't seem right to me. But with that being said, I really do hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you like the build that I made. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty proud of myself for trying to step out of my own comfort zone and try something different. Even though I know that I have more work to do. I forgot about him. Even though I know I've got more work to do and improve, I like it. I think it's just, I tried to use some dark prismarine because I've never ever built with that before. There's obviously a few spots that I need to light up on top. But overall, I like it. I think it's pretty cool. And especially once I start to add some leaves, which just full warning, if you see some leaves in the thumbnail, it's probably because just after I film this, I might chuck a couple in there just to make it look a little bit nicer for the thumbnail. But now I'm rambling. With that being said, as always, I do hope you're taking care of yourselves. I really do mean that. I want each and every one of you to be looking after yourselves. And, you know, if I can be someone that you come to and just enjoy and switch off from life a little bit, that's everything that I could ever ask for. So until the next episode, take care of yourself as always, and I'll see you then. Bye, guys.